We're going to head down to the interview lounge for a man with the mid lane.
Thank you very much. Indeed, West Door, the mid laner for AHQ, after securing their ticket to the quarterfinal. Well, West Door, what a day. Let's concentrate on the end of the day and talk about how you guys had that heartbreaking close loss to Fnatic. How did you manage to reset and take down Cloud9 and take your spot?
他说我们来谈谈，就是你今天打 Fnatic 的时候，然后你们几乎都快要赢了，可是就是非常可惜的，就是输了。那时候你们是这一队是如何重整心情，然后振作，然后再打下一场打 C9 获得胜利？
其实输的当下还蛮沮丧的，就是因为如果加赛的话，我们是子方，那子方是现在公认比较弱势的一方。那场我们拿了2座兵营，然后有8龙，那应该经济优势应该是有一点。输了之后就大家都坐在台下，就是其实然后我们就想一下为什么会输，那重整心情，因为我们还有一场比赛要打，但是就真的蛮沮丧的，因为很接近胜利了，就是8强的。因为我们大家都很希望去英国，然后输了之后，我们就全部人都坐着不讲话大概5分钟吧。5分钟之后就准备讨论C9了，所以大概是这样。
So we wanted to win that game real bad because we know on the tiebreaker we'll be on the purple side, which is not good for Ben picks. So we wanted to win against Fnatic, and we had 2 inhibitors down, and we had the Baron. So it was really, really close, and it was really upsetting for us to lose in that fashion. So when we got off stage, we just all sat down, and we barely spoke a word for like 5 minutes. But after that, we were able to get our thoughts together, and then we regrouped, and we beat C9.
You did. That is what happened. I even think I spotted you guys in between there. So congratulations on that. Westor, you're always incredibly confident. Every time you say that you can win the whole thing. And you guys, as AHQ, have done better every single international tournament in the last couple of months, getting to the quarterfinals at MSI as well. How are you going to do it? And why is this the year of AHQ?
他说，HQ 每年的国际大赛都打越来越好。然后像 MSI 里面打到4强，然后现在又打到8强。那你一直都说会赢冠军，那你为什么觉得今年是你们的好机会？
因为今年的话，我们进步了非常多，因为我们吸收了去年的不足。那因为我们 LN 赛区离中韩比较近，那中韩可能大家都觉得还不错，那大家也会到韩国取经。那我们也借着地利去有更多机会跟韩国或中国队伍练习。那今年会走到这边，我其实去年也有机会，但是去年也加赛，今年也加赛，所以心情还蛮复杂的。那可能我们今年的心理素质个人技术都比去年更好一点吧，我觉得这个是原因。
So it was really hard getting to the final 8, and like last year we had a tiebreaker also, but we lost that one and we won this one. Of course, I think because our location, we're closer to Korea and the China teams, and so we practiced with them a lot and we improved a lot, learning from our mistake from last year. So this year we were able to handle mentally, and our mechanics also improved, and to be able to take down this tiebreaker.
All right. We'll see what happens further. One final question. You guys coming out of the LMS region, securing that quarterfinal spot. The other side, the Flash Wolves as well. First seed in their group. Can you speak to, just in general, how the LMS teams are turning up so well here at Worlds?
他说 LMS team 都表现得非常好，那你们也晋级了，然后闪电狼也是第1名晋级了。那可不可以跟我们讲一下为什么你觉得 LMS 现在表现这么好
？2方面原因吧，一个是我刚刚说那个距离中韩比较近，那可以更方便练习。还有一个原因就是，其实台港澳赛区就LN赛区 的小10几岁的年轻人，就是比较喜欢玩 DOTA 类型的游戏，那可能从小接触就比较多，那就打下了基本功，然后再接触到 LoL。其实我觉得台港澳赛区的基本功都不差，对，可能心理素质还要再好一点。那我觉得台港澳赛区是因为这个小时候爱玩的，打下了基本功，所以应该是这样算是一个比较好的可以成为 LoL 的高手的地方，我觉得。
So one of the reasons I mentioned before, it's because we're closer to China and KR. We played a scrim a lot against the best teams, and also the teenagers in our region, we played a lot of Dota back in the days. So we had that ground mechanics down, so we know the basic stuff. And it really is, we need to improve our mentality and how to win games, and that's how we'll get more and more good players coming out of that region.
Well, winning a game like this, a tiebreaker, definitely strengthens your mentality. Thank you so much for the interview, and congratulations, Westdoor and AHQ, punching the final tickets to the quarterfinals. Take it away, guys.
Thank you, Shox. What a way to end the day. I do have to say, based on the performances of today's games and the teams today, AHQ, a much-deserved victory there to snag that second seed out of Group B. However, we had a lot of questions coming into this game, mostly about Cloud9, whether or not they had another strategy to show us, and they did. They came in with something entirely different than what they had shown all tournament long.
It's like we called them predictable, and they come out, like they were on the ropes, and they came out swinging. I liked it, coming with this new composition, kind of reversed it. We saw the situation when HQ were actually sieging their tower, which was something refreshing from C9 games. So I liked that they came out with this composition.
The issue with it is that it's a very difficult comp to pull off. I mean, you have high mechanics in multiple lanes. You got a stealth. Twitch is not easy to pull off. That's why he's not a meta champion right now. Everybody has better map awareness now that they did 2 years ago, so they'll have a good feeling as to where Twitch is.
Yeah, and I feel like that this is another comp that's in response to AHQ's strengths. Like, they just want to get rid of one person, and once again, it's that AD carry, so they get rid of the Kench, so then they get like a Malphite and a Lee Sin with like 500 AD and just try and throw it on top. Problem is, they forgot about that dude in the top lane that just started dunking people left, right, and center. And in the end, Ziv went off.
Yeah, Ziv was an absolute monster. Just for a quick note, we will be returning to the arena in not too long in order to get the group draw underway. Until that time, we'll continue breaking down the game. You mentioned Ziv being the quarter draw in just a few minutes. You mentioned Ziv being a monster. Cloud9 repeatedly has gone to the Baron when they've been in trouble in games. And we saw that in this game. I mean, we talk about high risk, high reward. They felt like they were in a position that they needed to make something happen in this game. And we saw Ziv come through with some pretty big plays around the Baron.
The first week, the Baron calls looked bold. They made sense. Okay, there's other people in missing parts of the map. They can't get to the fight very quickly. It makes a lot of sense. And this time around, that just wasn't the case. It felt more like a desperation thing where it's like, hey, let's just start it because we want to. We don't know what else to do. And then there's mixed calls all around with a poor engage. And at this point, you know, it's just going to be downhill from
the flash Q here.
Yeah, this is with the Jinx combo rock. Look at, oh
my God. It's just everyone's cringing right now on the desk.
And the thing about it is that they cue that up coordination-wise so well. The channel's coming in whilst the flash is already happening. That was a quadra kill for the Jinx, and I can't speak highly enough of this AD carry. So many people talk about what they do on the top side of the map and what Westdoor does in the mid lane, but their bottom lane has shown time and time again with multiple carries and multiple supports that they are legitimate threats at every single part of the game. They're not a team comp like Blue that they're like, you can't lane. They can lane, they can team fight. They're just phenomenal.
Well, and the team has showed an extraordinary amount of faith in their bottom lane, putting him on carries like Jinx and repeatedly going back to On for those late game fights and saying, we trust that you will carry us.
Similar to
game.
Fnatic, the #1 seed of this group, they like to run that triple threat composition as well, which is a refreshing change, especially after seeing some teams or previous games in week 1 try out that Malphite, that Maokai, that Shen top that really just doesn't provide a whole lot in this current state. The Shen obviously seems to have a lot more success in the support role. So Ziv was regarded and praised as one of the best top laners in the tournament as well. And, you know, he's really putting up a fight to be that guy.
You mentioned the #1 seed in this group. As we wind down the group stage, we want to take one last look at the big plays you've been calling out on Twitter today. At Lord Freljord writes, "What the holo was that? Amazing quadra kill on the bot lane." Let's roll that big play.
Oh, holy crap! Everyone's dying in this fight. Reckless goes down. Zatai gets a bunch back, but Huni, the double, the steal, the triple kill, the quadra kill for Huni.
The bravado of this play, going back in with the flash and turning that around, that just shows he is confident and he's by no means influenced by whatever happened last week.
My favorite thing about that play is
The voice
Huni is playing against Zatai, one of the crazier mid laners we have. And even Zatai was shocked about how outright aggressive that was. He just completely started on 4 people.
That looks like one of those Riven one-trick pony plays, and that's coming from a pro player that actually has to have a wide champion pool. Very impressive to see somebody have that confidence and understanding of the champion at this tournament.
It actually gave me flashbacks because the first time Huni busted out the Riven was in the regular split against us, and he was at the end of the game 200 CS ahead, and
I remember that Rumble, Steve.
A broken man.
Yeah. Also, too, the camera work there, fabulous. That's you mentioned one trick pony. That's like a montage from a one trick pony that you'd find on YouTube.
where's the dubstep music?
Yeah, that's what we were missing. All right, next time around, that's the challenge there. We got to get the dubstep music mixed in. But exactly, the knowledge of the champion with such a large champion pool to know that he could flash back in for that play as opposed to just saving himself.
And it goes beyond that. It's like the item build, going with the Bloodthirster for the increased AD, the more lifesteal that you get out of it means that you can also go Last Whisper much earlier in your build. Just so many things, like being able to play a champion that requires auto attack, cancel animations in there without the Hydra is just really impressive, honestly.
That's the Huni we expect to see. Maybe we'll see him in the bracket stages. Right now, we're going to step into the venue where QuickShot will walk us through how the teams will be randomly drawn into the